Okay, a couple minutes before Eric joins me. It was not a great day for Sino-American or a great week for Sino-American relations. Eric's pretty astute, so I understand both sides, even though I'm an American. So today is August 6th, Saturday, 2022. Yes, and Neiman Hall. How is everybody? How's everybody doing? Kong family. Kan wo Sure. So, or Yan Yi. So just waiting on Eric today. He picked some pretty cool English fun exercises for us to do. So we'll do that, and then just we'll 看他写字 is writing. Eric, 你在哪里？快快快！ There you, Eric. There you are.
Hello, nice to see you.
Yeah, 你在阳春。天呐呀。
Yeah, now I return to Yancheng.
Very good. How was your holiday? Did you have a good family holiday vacation?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, good. Was it good to see your grandparents?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
So I enjoyed a happy time staying with them.
yeah. And are they your mother's parents or your father's parents?
My father's parents and
Father.
my mother's parents are in another province.
Yeah, that's great that they. So did your parents meet when they were at university together?
Yeah.
That's great. That's wonderful. That's how my parents met, but they were closer in the same province, right? The same state, right? In America. But that's funny. So they were spread out. Your family's quite spread out, right? Like
Yeah.
yeah, different provinces. What else were you gonna say? Oh, do you know what do you call in English? I don't know. I don't know what you would say. But what do you call in English if they are what's the one word that you would say if it is your mother's parents? What what
Uh,
what side is that? What side grandparents? What are they called?
I'm not sure about that, but
Yeah.
in Chinese, we do count if they are my father's grandparents or mother's grandparents.
Yeah, 他我不知道，他会在中文是就是你父亲right? But how would you say that in Chinese? Your father's parents.
Father's parents, my father's father is 爷爷, my father's mother is 奶奶, but my mother's parents are different. My mother's father is 姥爷, my mother's mother,
Yeah.
yeah, is 姥姥.
Okay. Yeah, because I never met my wife's mother's parents. I never met them. So all I knew is yeah, nine nine. I never, yeah. So there's different names for them. Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay. If it is your mother's parents in English, we say they are your maternal grandparents, right? If they are
yeah,
your father's parents, they are your paternal grandparents, but it's the same name, right? So even
yeah,
in English, it's still your grandmother or your grandfather. They might have right? They might have a little different names, like but still it's still your grandparents. But your mother's grandparents are called maternal, right?
yeah,
Maternal. And then you can think, right, papa, right? So paternal are your father's grandparents in English. But that's interesting,
yes,
yeah, because um I never met my wife's mother, my the DP, I call her, my boss, Dongbei DP, my bully, my Dongbei bully, my mother's wife's parents. So I never got to learn that in Chinese. So that's interesting. All right, Mr. Kong. Let's see so today we've got we're going to review your paper. Hold on, I sent you much information. Let me download that. So that's downloading. So which ones again did you want? Did you like the green future, or which one interested you?
I think the first one or the most interested one is world time zones.
World, yes, I thought that would be interesting, right? Because if you haven't traveled much, I still get confused, right? And then 中国还有 E, right? They only have one.
Yeah,
我不知道, I don't know why, but it's such a big country in Dadagua. But
yeah,
yeah, it's interesting, right? So when you travel, you need to get accustomed, all right, to
yeah. So
different time
in
zones.
fact, China has eight, but it is now counted by Beijing time, so there is only one.
Yes, right. All right, so well then we'll do that one too. And then I always think it's a good idea to let's do the split screen here. It's always a good idea to read with a native language speaker, whatever language, right? We did this last week, to read fast, right? It will help in your fluency, help in your pronunciation, and also help trigger your brain. But I think at this point, you're very bilingual, right? I think you can switch your brain pretty quickly, but I think it will just help your English fluency and your speed, right, in terms of reading more quickly. So let's do that first. How you eat. Let's do that first. So where was it? Where was your book? Hold on, Eric. But everything else is okay. When do you go back to school, man?
So our teacher haven't noticed that yet, but I guess that we still have 11 days left.
11 days. All right. So just relax and have fun for those 11 days. Maybe I won't I won't have you write anything, right? So just hang out, right, as we'd say, and have fun.
Yeah.
All right, where are you, Eric, with your are you still reading a little bit of I Am Malala?
Yeah, I've finished the second chapter.
Wow, excellent, bro. Excellent. Very good. All right, let me minimize that. Hold on. That's great. Good. And you're enjoying it so far?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right. Let me make this bigger. No, can I? No, I think I just have to go through. And there's also like an art, right, to build any language when you're reading in that language, which we go over, right, in terms of looking at the dictionary, thesaurus, right, questioning sentences, making sure you understand them. I think I talked
Yeah.
a little bit about that last week, right? There's a difference between reading for fun, where you just read and you read quickly, and then there's a difference between academic and reading for comprehension, right? And
Yeah.
especially even if you go to Nizhou Dashui Zaizhongguo, you're going to have maybe you'll probably take an English literature academic class, so you would have to read for comprehension, understanding. Canada, right? If you go to native English speaking, all of your classes you have to read English for comprehension, right? To really understand it. It doesn't really matter where we're at. I don't want to read something that is redundant to you right now. So, but let's just do that. Okay, Eric. Yeah, we'll just go ahead, read. We'll just read 4 paragraphs or 3, but go ahead, read at your normal tempo or how you would read right now. Just go ahead and normal. Read my father.
Okay. Uh, my father longed to be uh eloquent with a voice that boomed out with no stammer. And he knew my grandfather desperately wanted him to be a doctor, but though he was a very bright student and a gifted poet, he was poor at maths and science and felt he was a disappointment. That's why he decided he would make his father proud by entering the district's annual public speaking competition. Everyone thought he was mad. His teachers and friends tried to dissuade him, and his father was reluctant to write the speech for him. But eventually, Ba gave him a fine speech, which my father practiced and practiced. He committed every word to memory while walking in the hills, reciting it to the skies and birds, as there was no privacy in their home.
Yes, fabulous, Eric. Very good. There's some very eloquent adjectives and verbs here, which are that's the best way to learn, right? Any language. So eloquent. What country do you think this word might have come from?
Uh, so I guess it might come from France.
Yes, Eric, so good, right? Generally, if you see the suffix, which you wanted to review today as well, maybe we'll do that next week, right? If we have time. So if you see quent, that's generally a French derivative, or it's derived, it comes from France. So what does
Ye-
eloquent mean? Give me another
Uh,
word for eloquent.
I think fluent is one.
Uh, Fluency, I would say on the thesaurus, right? When we look at a thesaurus, right? The red ones are the most common ones, the yellow or orange, then yellow. I would say that's more of an orange or yellow to be fluent. I would say eloquent is very fancy, fanciful,
Yeah,
right? And then maybe beautiful, and then I would say um your word, maybe I would say that's more fluid, right? So to be eloquent is to be very fancy or fanciful, right? That boomed out with no stammer. So what do they mean? What does he mean with this, or what does she mean with this phrase that boomed out with no stammer?
so it means uh her father's voice is really fluent and fancy and often goes out like a line and don't stop.
Fabulous, right? Really good. And again, I'm doing with you what my English literature teachers and my professors at university did with me, right? It's the best way to comprehend and understand a language, right? Yeah, exactly. So the father longed to be eloquent. He really longed to be eloquent, right? Meaning he really wanted to be fanciful with a voice, right? So he wanted to speak with a voice that didn't stammer, right? So if I remember
Yeah,
correctly, he had a little stutter or
yeah,
stammer, right? He talked like this. So these are synonymous. They're same words, right? To talk with a stammer or a stutter. Okay,
yeah.
excellent. Let's continue. Sorry, I decreased it. I thought there was extra words here, but it just goes on. District annual public speaking competition. Um, yeah, this is another good verb, to dissuade. What does that mean, Eric?
Persuade.
Sorry?
Persuade, I guess.
It's the opposite, right? So per and dis are not suffix, right? A suffix comes at
Yeah,
the end, which would be quint. They are pre, right? So they come before. So it's
yeah,
not persuade, meaning Eric, oh man, I want you to read a book every week, right? I'm trying to persuade you to read every week. If I tell you, Eric, don't read, it's a waste of time, I am dissuading you. I'm telling you not to read, right? So it's the
yeah.
opposite, actually, yin yang, right? So it's the opposite. Okay, what does it mean to be reluctant?
Not willing to do something.
Correct. Excellent. Very good, right? You're reluctant. Eric, I really want you to read. I want you to finish Malala this week. Oh, Cliff, come on, man. I'm still on my holiday, right? You are reluctant to read it, right? Okay. Excellent. And then practice. She is writing. Is she writing in an American way of writing?
I think it's in the I'm not sure about it. I think it's writing in the British way.
Yeah, I think so. From the words that I've seen apologized up there. I've seen practiced. Again, our world is becoming so small that I think now we're mixing and matching everyone's language, right, together. But I would think it's more in the British style, right? Okay, excellent. I'm just going to read this one quick. I want to show you like the kind of tempo, right? I still want you to, like, if you see a period, right, I want you to stop. If you see the comma, I want you to hesitate or pause, right? I still want you to read as if you're acknowledging the grammar points. Other than that, I think your English is so good you can speed up, right, your English, and it will help you. Okay, so I'm gonna go read this how I would like you to read. Okay, there was not much to do in the area where they lived, so when the day arrived, there was a huge gathering. Other boys, some known as good speakers, gave their speeches. Finally, my father was called forward. I stood at the lectern, he told me, hands shaking and knees knocking, so I could barely see over the top, and so terrified the faces were a blur. My palms were sweating and my mouth was as dry as paper. He tried desperately not to think about the treacherous consonants lying ahead of him, just waiting to trip him up and stick in his throat. But when he spoke, the words came out fluently, like beautiful butterflies taking flight. His voice did not boom like his father's, but his passion shone through, and he went on. He gained, as he went on, he gained confidence. Okay, this is pretty self-explanatory. What does it mean when your knees are knocking, Eric?
Uh, so I think first it's being afraid of something or hesitating about something.
Yeah, 压力可以，就是你压力啊, right? You're nervous, right? Your knees are knocking, or you could be scared, right? Excellent. All right. What does it mean to be to be or to be treacherous?
Uh, I think treacherous is maybe seen as something bad or not polite or something like this.
Yeah, 这是一个小的淘气, right? You're a little bit naughty, maybe, right? You are
Yeah.
treacherous to be. It's not quite evil, but you're a little bit maybe naughty, you know. And then what
Yeah.
is this? 在英文有英文衣服是不? What is a consonant?
Consonant. So in English grammar, it means some parts of English alphabets, and it also has another meaning, which means stable or the same.
Excellent. Very good, Eric. Always good. A consonant, right, has a double meaning. It probably has many meanings. The first one in English grammar, right? It's not A, E, I, O, U. What are those called in English grammar?
Vowels.
Yes, vowels. So the other letters, right? The other what? 22, I forget, right? The other what are they called? Yes,
Consonants.
consonants. And you are correct, right? To be a consonant, it also can mean maybe ting, right? A syllable, like a consonant, a hard sound or a hard tone. I would think maybe a third meaning, right? Again, this is for you on your free time to look up in the dictionary and learn more words, increase your vocabulary. But I think a consonant means to be always constant, right? It sounds very similar.
Yes.
So to be, right, to always be there, or something that's strong, that's present, right? So to be have a consonant. Excellent, very good. This is one of my favorite words in the English language. Of course, I love love is always a very good word in any language, right? Love, everyone loves love. And then passion, right? To have a passion. I think you have a passion for language. I know you also like health and life science, right? So, all right. So for next week, whenever we start reading, Eric, I would like you to, right, pick up the tempo. You read pretty fast and you read well, right? But just continue to like try to pick it up when you're reading a little bit faster, and it will help you. All right, let's go into, drop that. There you are, Eric. Sorry about that. Hold on. Get that. All right, let's go to your paper, bro. Hold on a second. All right, Eric's 19th. I love how you do the math. I know you like math too, right? You do the 19th. You remember what paper you were doing, so that's good. All right, so let's see. So Eric Hong, great. The date again, right? This is all subject to change. It's interesting, right? So I don't know what word format you have, probably the Chinese version, right, of Word. So then it's funny when it's such a benefit to have it. It makes you so lazy as a student, right? Because you don't really, well, you learn by application. So you actually can see, right, or their advice on what to do and what not to do. Because I've got the British version for some reason. It doesn't matter though. So here they want a semicolon. I don't know why, but we'll read through that. So, okay. So what was the topic of this, Eric?
This is a question about people live in the limelight, if they have the responsibility to like behave well and set good examples for others.
Right. Yeah. So this was the IELTS, right? The IELTS one. Were you able to, like I always recommend, were you able to do this under test conditions? Meaning, did your grandparents or your parents, did they set a timer and you did it
Yeah,
within 40 minutes? You did? Excellent.
yeah.
Did you find it more difficult or?
Yeah, I find it more difficult
Yeah.
because there is pressure, and at first I haven't seen the topic of it, and uh, I really don't know how to write, but then I figure it,
Yes.
some of it out.
Yes. You can always take time. Maybe again, I don't know, the IELTS test has changed so much because then we had the virus last 2 years, so I don't know if they did it. Well, they did it maybe on the internet. I don't know how they actually do it, but I know they give you scratch paper, right? So you can make notes, right, before you even type, if that helps you, right? By any means necessary, whatever helps you, right, to think about it and to write more clearly and more effectively. So yes, I remember it now. I would assume, that they're going to have all future students for the IELTS type the papers, because who writes anymore, right? I don't even think, native English speaking students don't even learn how to write. Everyone's typing or tapping on their phone, right? So I think they're going to have you write, and I would assume that they have the title of what they want you to write about or the problem above. So I don't think you even need a title, right? But I've never administered the IELTS because I think they only want British uh, educators to administer or vigilate the test, meaning oversee the test. Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, I don't know why, but that's right. All right, celebrities live in the limelight. People pay attention to their behaviors. Ah, right. So when you're taking the IELTS, how would you spell behavior?
and maybe an U between O and R.
Yes, right. Behave yours, right? For the British, right? I know that's right. So that's good, Eric, right? So celebrities live in the limelight. They want a semicolon because, right, it's like a half sentence and then it's another
Yeah,
one. So that's all right. I understood what you were saying. So celebrities live in the limelight. People pay attention to their behaviors. Good. Um, I would start that off with more of a complete sentence. So I would say there are, right? Especially for academic writing, you want more full sentences. So there are celebrities who, or who, yeah, who live in the limelight. Period. Who? I don't think that's who. All right, there are celebrities who live in the limelight. Some people pay attention to their behaviors, right? Okay, and then
Okay.
again, right, this is just one to make it more simple. So it's when you for academic purposes, and IELTS is an academic test, always try to full sentences. So if you just put celebrities, it's kind of it's not a complete, well, it's a complete sentence, but it's not a full sentence, right? So try to
Yeah.
type full sentences using their, them, etc., etc. And then try not to even use some. However, I felt it applicable right there. So now we'd want to change this. We don't want to use that, would just to use some. So people suggest they are responsible to set good examples because this spreads correct and optimistic values. Excellent. So if we used there are here and then some, what do you think we could use here? Either different to make it sound more interesting, or how could we phrase the third sentence here?
Uh,
Definitely don't use some, right? Because we
yeah.
use that in the sentence before. You can use there are, right? Because you use that a sentence behind. That's fine. We can do that. That doesn't sound so bad. So there are some, right? So some people who, right? Always never be definitive. Try not to be definitive in academic writing. Do you know what that means?
Uh, it means don't do too much of defining something.
Yes, right. 黑色的, 白色的, you want more 褐色的, right? You want more gray. You don't want to say this. There are, many people. No, there's some people, right? Not everybody agrees, right? So you want to make sure that
Yeah.
you're not definitive, saying everyone should believe that Santa Claus exists. No, or that's your opinion, right? So you would
Yeah.
say, in my opinion, I believe Santa Claus is real because A, B, C, D, right? And then you could also say, however, right? You want to explain the whole situation. Okay. So there are some people who suggest they are responsible to set good examples. I always was taught to put a comma, but because this spreads, I think that's good. Yeah, that's good. So sometimes they're just incorrect word, right? Just because it's a computer program doesn't mean they are correct.
Yeah.
I would say that's right. Because this spreads correct and optimistic values. That's a very good sentence, Eric. Wow, that's fabulous. Really good. Um, very good. Okay, conversely, excellent, brother. Very good. I didn't even read that, and we were just talking about it, right? So you're doing both sides of the argument. So that's wonderful. Some other words to know, right? Possibly use. You can use alternatively,
Yeah.
conversely, opposingly, right? There are many different ways to describe the opposite, right? The opposite side. That's excellent. So let's see. Conversely, many others hold the view that they don't have the responsibility, or you could say that responsibility,
Yeah.
right? They consider we shan't. Ooh, Lao England, Shakespeare, right? We shan't. That's pretty good. I understand it. I like it. If I was grading you, marking you on the IELTS call, I'd give you a good score. I like it. However, I think maybe in today, right, that's very old English, lao England, right?
Yeah.
So you'd want to be they consider that we shouldn't, right? Shouldn't. That was good though, Eric. They consider that they that we, right, we should look into their privacies. Okay, again, that's a preposition, right? Into. So
Yeah.
try to maybe incorporate that in it. But Eric, this was fabulous already. This was just very good, man. I mean, you progress all the time, and I'd give you a very good score on this already, just based on the first paragraph, right? So I believe that famous people should be good role models. Excellent. And then let's hopefully you explain it. So All right, we're about halfway there. There are lots of reasons why people, I'm going to read a little bit quicker because then we'll do that one exercise that you want for a little bit difference today. There are lots of reasons why people think celebrities need to behave properly and set good examples. Yes, on the internet, they are viral. Viral, right, is a twat, right? So you would need to use quote. So it's kind of slang, right? Twat,
Yeah.
right? All right, on the internet, they are viral. So they have all right, 10 minutes, yeah. So they have a large number of fans, and many people follow their acts and behaviors, right? England, yes, excellent. As a result, they should use the right languages and transmit proper. Yeah, this is more like the Hanyu England, right? To transmit proper orientations. So how could you phrase this better for an England, England, right? An English reader, how would you phrase this better?
Uh,
They should use the right language, right? And
mm, I think the verb transmit shouldn't be used here because it doesn't have a clear meaning.
yeah, I understand what you're trying to get at. So I'm just gonna, more of a native English way of writing that. So as a result, they should use the right language and give off the
Yeah.
correct impression, right? So they should always be good to old people, young, to everybody, right? So that means, so this is right, to give off, right? Give off you would say the right or correct impression, but I use correct because you always use right. But excellent, Eric. So good. Let me just finish this quickly. So in addition, nowadays people need influencers, right? Again, this is right? So influencers need influencers who are just and patriotic, but not those who depend on rumors, right? How would you spell rumors? England.
The same add and you.
Yes, right. Just get in that habit because England call, right? It's a British test. All right, you are just, but not those who depend on rumors to get attention. Good. That's very good. Again, that's a preposition. See if you could somehow sneak that into the sentence. Thus, good examples need to be set. Fabulous, Eric. Such a good essay. Very just very proud of you for this one. All right. Yet for people who deem famous people aren't responsible, maybe not, right? Less is more, so you don't need a comma. Aren't responsible, you could say there are many
Yeah.
factors. Wait, yet? I don't know if starting it with yet is always good to start a sentence with yet. So you could say need to be set. You could almost make this a 3-paragraph essay. So one, and then make this a big one.
Yeah.
So you could put therefore people who deem famous people aren't responsible. There are many factors. Therefore, people who deem famous people seemingly, but this was excellent, so good. Seemingly aren't. And again, try not to use, seemingly, try not to use conjunctions in academic writing. So don't use aren't, right? Use like spell it out, right? So are not.
Yeah.
Do hyphen, right? Are not. For academic, right? If you're writing for fun, for a book, maybe it's okay. So are not responsible. There are many factors that are contained. Yeah. Good. Excellent. Good, Eric. Again, very good. Firstly, how internet influencers, and once you use the comma here, you don't have to use it again, right?
Yeah.
You're basically telling the reader here, this is what we say. We say viral, we say influencers. And then the second, third time, fourth time, you don't have to keep doing it. So firstly, how internet influencers behave is their privacy. Good. We shouldn't report their secrets because it doesn't give them enough respect. Good. Again, I always was taught with the comma, but I think that may have changed. Yep, I think it's changed. Was she Laura and Eric? All right, because it doesn't give them enough respect. Secondly, I love that you do this. This is very good for academic, right? First, second, thirdly. Excellent job, Eric. So good, man, with this one. So secondly, this also provides us chances to see whether they truly perform. Perform well. Yeah, good. Again, you may not want to start a sentence with because.
Yeah.
So you could just, again, they don't want a comma. Yeah, but they do there, I guess. Okay, because many idols are courteous under spotlights, under the spotlight, right? It's just English under the spotlight, but act impolitely privately. Excellent, right? You see, this is look into, investigate. They want to investigate, but that's all right, Eric. This is great. So you start out. This is a good structure, I think, for IELTS. So you have your introduction, your beginning paragraph is 4-6 sentences, and then we would say this is the meat, right? The meat is the biggest part in between, and then your conclusion is just like your paragraph, or it could be even a little bit smaller, right? You're concluding with maybe 4 sentences. So in conclusion, famous people should be responsible for being good examples. Fans, right, follow their correct behaviors, right? Again, England, and spread optimistic and rational values. Yeah, I think it's the same, right? In England, yeah, may eat values. As a result, everyone can behave properly for us. Eric, that was wonderful. I mean, I would give you a top score, a very top score. So hopefully, let's save that. I'm going to send that back to you. Hopefully you keep doing this. I'm going to give you a break this week. If you just keep reading, enjoy your holiday. If you can read a little at night, it helps you go to bed, I guess. But yeah, we'll continue. That was excellent. Very proud of you, man. So let me send that back to you. Let's see. That was a very good essay under test conditions too. So that's wonderful. Okay. All right. And now which one we wanted to do time zones, right? Did I get it? Or where's time zone? Hold on. Time zones. Yes. All right, brother. All right, we've got about 3 minutes, and then so let's give you some time to review this. I know you didn't have much time to look it over when I sent it to you. So let's jot that down. So learning the time zones of the world. Yes, go ahead, Eric. Please read.
Okay. Learning the time zones world. There are 24 time zones on Earth. In the illustration below, we see all of them illustrated on a flat map. Coordinated universal time is the standard time for the entire world. Moving east, add 1 hour for each time zone. Moving west, subtract 1 for each time zone.
Yes, that's pretty much the standard. I think it's also called Greenwich Means Time, which is based in England. I've never been good with time. I'm sorry. Time and math, Eric. Don't ever ask me math questions. You would definitely be able to tutor me in maths or in math, right? England, right? Ren, S, right? But yeah, time zones. It still confuses me today. All I know is China is 1 hour ahead of Yunnan, right? The Vietnam. That's all I know. But, yeah, so that's an excellent map of all the time zones. So let's see the questions. All right, Eric. I think you've got about 2 minutes, but that's all right. So we'll just log out of them, but I'll read them to you, right? So Christina lives in London, England. If she updates her blog at 7 p.m., right? Her blog, that's right, what she types on the internet. At what time will the update be visible to her readers in California? Interesting. All right, try not to read the answers. I think the answers are down here. All right, if newscasters begin reporting on an earthquake in Beijing at 4 a.m., at what time will viewers in New York see the coverage? Number 3, the flight from Chicago to Moscow is 20 hours long. If a plane leaves Chicago at 4:30 p.m. on January 26th, Chicago, why Chicago will Chicago at 4:30 p.m. on January 26th. What time of day will it arrive? All right, Eric, will probably be pretty easy for you, but let's just take a 3 to 5 minute break. Go get, some water or whatever, and then just text me when you're ready to log back in. Okay? On Ding. Okay. All right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I don't know. Ding.